Principal Richard Stevens was yelling at janitor, William, "You just do cleaning here. You can't interfere with education policies." William calmly pulled an old phone from his pocket and pressed a single button. "General Morrison, this is William Carter. Yes, I have a problem right now." Principal Stevens' face went white as a sheet. "Welcome to the Lost Stories. Before we begin this powerful story, tell us in the comments which city you're watching from today, and if you believe stories like this deserve to be told. Hit that subscribe button and help this channel grow. We share meaningful stories like this every week. Jefferson Elementary School was a modest 150-student school located in the small town of Millfield, Massachusetts. When the school doors opened at 7:30 a.m., teachers and students experienced their usual morning rush. But one person always stood quietly in the corner: William Carter. 63-year-old William was the school's custodian. He had been doing this job for 3 years and didn't talk much with anyone. His gray hair was neatly combed, and his blue work uniform was always clean. He wore no jewelry except an old military watch on his hands. Teachers called him Miss Bill, while children simply saw him as the cleaning man. School principal Richard Stevens was a 45-year-old man who thought himself very important. He had an MBA degree and constantly talked about the school's corporate image. He looked down on William and only addressed him when necessary. That Tuesday morning, an argument had broken out during the school administration meeting. The district education inspector had said the school's security protocols were inadequate. Teacher Susan Martinez had expressed her concerns about security. "These protocols aren't realistic," Susan had said. "How will we protect the children in an emergency?" Principal Stevens had irritably replied, "We need professional opinions, not teacher worries." William had overheard this conversation while cleaning in the hallway. As someone who had developed military security protocols for years, he noticed that the school's current plan had serious shortcomings. When the meeting ended, William courageously approached Stevens' office. He knocked on the door and entered. "Principal Stevens, I have a suggestion about security." Stevens frowned. "William, you do cleaning. Education policies don't concern you. But I have some experience with security," William said calmly. "What experience?" Stevens asked mockingly. "Using cleaning supplies safely?" William hesitated. He didn't like talking about his past, but children's safety was at stake. "Military security experience," he said. Stevens laughed. "Military? You could never have been a soldier. Look at your age. What war did you fight in? Vietnam?" "No," William said. "I served as a commander. I developed security protocols." These words really angered Stevens. He stood up and moved toward William. "Listen to me, William. You just do cleaning here. You can't interfere with education policies. This school is not your playground." William's face changed. In his 40-year military career, he had never encountered such disrespect. He calmly pulled a small, old phone from his pocket. "What are you doing?" Stevens asked. William pressed a single button and put the phone to his ear. After a few seconds, an answer came from the other end. "General Morrison? This is William Carter. Yes, I have a problem right now." Stevens' mouth fell open. The name he recognized from the Pentagon was General Morrison. "Yes, General. I'm working at Jefferson Elementary School. I'm trying to make security recommendations, but the school principal is, how shall I put it, showing me disrespect." The voice from the other end of the phone was so loud that Stevens could hear it too. "William, you're a 4-star general. Who's showing you disrespect?" Stevens' face had gone white. His eyes were fixed on William. "Would you like to speak with the principal, General?" William asked. "Of course I'll talk to him." William handed the phone to Stevens. Stevens took the phone with trembling hands. "Hello? Who are you and why are you disrespecting my General William Carter?" "General? I'm school principal Richard Stevens." "I didn't know that. There's a lot you don't know, Mr. Stevens. Before General Carter retired, he was responsible for security strategies at the Pentagon. He's a 4-star general, and right now he's volunteering for your school's security." Stevens handed the phone back to William, his hands still shaking. William hung up the phone and put it in his pocket. He looked at Principal Stevens. "Now, will you listen to my security recommendations?" Stevens nodded, still in shock. "Oh, of course, General. I mean, William, you can just call me William. I'm a retired man now. Just then, the school's emergency alarm began ringing. The sharp, piercing sound filled the entire building. Stevens panicked. What is this? The drill wasn't today. William's posture changed instantly. 40 years of military training kicked in. He straightened his back. His eyes sharpened. This isn't a drill, he said coolly. It's a real alarm. The school secretary's panicked voice came over the loudspeaker. All teachers and staff attention. Armed person threat received. Lockdown procedure initiated. Keep children in classrooms. Keep doors locked. Stephen's hand began to tremble. What should we do? Should we call the police? Police will already be on their way, William said calmly. Now I need to take leadership. William stepped into the hallway and shouted in his powerful voice. All staff stay calm. Follow the procedure. Teacher Susan Martinez came out of her classroom, fear on her face. William, the children are scared. What should we do? Susan, go back to your classroom. Lock the door. Gather the children in the corner. Stay quiet. I'm controlling the situation. Susan felt the authority in William's voice and ran back to her classroom without hesitation. William turned to Stevens. Principal, get out the school plan. Main entrances, side exits, all entry points. The plans are in the assistant principal's office, Stevens said. Get them. Now. While Stevens ran to get the plans, William took his old phone from his pocket and called a different number. Chief Johnson, this is William Carter. Emergency at Jefferson Elementary School. Armed threat. What's your position? The answer from the phone. General Carter, are you at the school? Our teams are 3 minutes away. Lockdown procedure active at school. I'm coordinating. Establish perimeter security. Attacker hasn't entered yet. William hung up and looked at Stevens. The principal had come with building plans in his hand. Listen to me carefully, William said. This school is now under my command. You will do exactly what I tell you. Stevens nodded. William examined the plan. Main entrance here. Side exits here and here. Gym exit and cafeteria exit. Total 5 entry points. Yes. Correct. Now tell me the location of all adults in the school. Teachers, staff, everyone. Stevens calculated in his mind. 15 teachers, 3 assistant staff, 1 secretary, 1 nurse, 1 cook. Total 22 adults, 150 children. Understood. William got on the phone again, this time calling a different number. General Morrison, William, active shooter threat at Jefferson Elementary School. I'm coordinating. Brief the SWAT team. They'll work under my command. William, even though you're a retired general, you have field experience. I'm leaving coordination to you. Need support? I'm sufficient for now. I'll report if the situation changes. William hung up and turned to Stevens. Principal, take the radio. Communicate with all classrooms. Check their status. Stevens took the radio and spoke in a shaky voice. All classrooms, report your status. Answers began coming one by one. Classroom 1A safe, 12 children. Classroom 2B safe, 15 children. Classroom 3A safe, 13 children. Positive responses came from all classrooms. William calculated in his head. 150 children. All safe. Good. Now check staff positions without making too much noise. Stevens spoke on the radio again. The cook was in the cafeteria. The nurse was in the infirmary. The secretary was in the office. Everyone was in place. Just then, police sirens could be heard from outside. William looked from the hallway to the main entrance. Police cars had surrounded the school. Chief Johnson is here, he said to himself. The phone rang. Chief Johnson was calling. General, we're ready. Have you located the attacker? Not yet. Current information is threat only. Haven't seen actual attacker. Understood. Perimeter security established. Coordination is yours. William turned to Stevens. Principal, how did the threat come? Phone or email? Secretary Mary got a phone call. Male voice said there's a gun at school. I'll kill the children. William thought. Where is Secretary Mary? In the main office. Bring her here. I want to talk to her. Stevens called Mary on the radio. 55-year-old Mary appeared in the hallway. Terrified. Mary, William said calmly. Remember that phone conversation exactly. Every detail is important. Mary spoke tremblingly. The phone rang at exactly 10:15. Male voice, not young, middle-aged. He said, "There's a gun at Jefferson Elementary. I'll kill the children in 30 minutes. Then he hung up. William looked at his watch. It was 10:47. 32 minutes had passed. Mary, did the caller say he was at school or that he was coming to school? Mary thought. He said there's a gun at school, like he was already inside. William's eyebrows furrowed. But we haven't seen anyone. Stevens panicked. So he's inside. Someone's at school. Stay calm, William said. If he were inside, he would have acted by now. This is probably a false alarm. False alarm? Stevens asked. An event called swatting, making fake threats to unnecessarily call police. But we can't take risks. We'll continue the procedure. William examined the plans again. He checked every corner, every room. Stevens, are there security cameras in this building? Yes, at the main entrance and in the hallways. Images are monitored in the assistant principal's office. We're going there. The three of them went to assistant principal David Peterson's office together. David was 38 years old, a young and experienced educator. He was sitting in front of the cameras. David, William said, review all footage from the last hour. If anyone you don't recognize entered, let me know. David quickly reviewed the footage with the remote in his hand. Only familiar faces. Teachers, staff. No strangers. William thought, what about perimeter security? Anyone entering the school grounds without permission? David checked different cameras. Backyard, side yard, playground. Everything was calm. No suspicious movement, David said. William called Chief Johnson. Chief, security cameras are clean. No suspicious person inside. This is probably a false alarm. Understood, General. But we're continuing the procedure until we check the entire school. Of course, I'm also checking from inside. William turned to Stevens and David. Now we'll do a systematic search. We'll check every room, every closet. But the children are in classrooms, Stevens said. I don't want to scare them. We won't scare them. We'll work calmly and orderly. William's military discipline kicked in. He was visualizing the school plan in his mind, systematically checking every area. Stevens, take the radio. Tell the teachers when I enter rooms. Children should stay calm. We'll say it's routine. Security check. Stevens announced to all classrooms on the radio. Staff will do security check. Children will stay calm, normal routine. William began the check. First, he checked empty classrooms, closets, desks, corners. He systematically scanned everywhere. Then he moved to classrooms with students. He knocked gently on the door. Susan, this is William. I'm going to do routine check. Susan Martinez opened the door. The 12 children in the classroom were sitting in the corner, looking at William with frightened eyes. Hello, children, William said with a smile. I'm just checking that the school is safe. You continue your game. William quickly but carefully checked the class closets, under desks, window areas. There was no suspicious situation. He moved to the next classroom. Teacher Robert Hill was trying to calm the third-grade students. Mr. Hill, are the children okay? They're fine, William, but they're scared. How long will this last? It'll be over very soon, just procedure. William checked this classroom too. The result was the same. No suspicious situation. He checked all classrooms, the cafeteria, gymnasium, library, music room. Everything was clean. Finally, he went down to the basement, boiler room, storage, cleaning room. He even checked the areas where he worked. 45 minutes later, he returned to Stevens. Entire building checked. No suspicious situation. This is definitely a false alarm. Stevens breathed a sigh of relief. So what do we do now? William called Chief Johnson. Chief, full building search completed. No suspicious person. False alarm confirmed. Excellent, General. Can we lift the lockdown? Yes, but check perimeter security once more. Attacker might be waiting outside. Understood. We'll give all clear in 10 minutes. William turned to Stevens. Principal, lockdown will be lifted in 10 minutes. Have teachers prepare. Stevens took the radio. All classrooms. Returning to normal education in 10 minutes. Lockdown will be lifted. Relieved voices came from the classrooms. William thought to himself, who was this false alarm and why did they target Jefferson Elementary? He turned to Stevens. Principal, after this incident we need to seriously review security measures. You're right, William. I apologize for showing you disrespect earlier. It's over and done. Now, what's important is the children's security. 10 minutes later, Chief Johnson gave the school all clear. Lockdown was lifted. Teachers came out of their classrooms. Children scattered into the hallways. The school was slowly returning to its normal rhythm. Susan Martinez approached William. William, you were incredible. How did you stay so calm? Experience. Susan, lots of experience. Were you really a general? William smiled. Yes, but now I'm just a custodian. Not anymore, Stevens said from behind them. You're now our security coordinator. During lunch break, everyone in the teacher's lounge gathered around William. William, said teacher Linda Davis, we didn't know about your past. Because there was no need to talk about it, William said. I just wanted to live a normal life. But were you really a general? Asked Robert Hill. 4-star general. I served for 40 years. I worked in security, strategy, crisis management areas. Wow, said Susan. We thought you were just the custodian uncle. I really am a custodian uncle, William said. I just used to do other jobs too. David Peterson was curious. So why did you choose to be a custodian after retirement? William looked thoughtful. Because children are innocent. No political games, no power struggles. Just learning and growing. This gives me peace. But your talents are being wasted, Linda said. Nothing is wasted. You saw today, when needed, I'm ready. Stevens intervened. William, I want you to officially become security coordinator now. I'll increase your salary too. No need, William said. I love my custodial work, but I'll help with security. That evening when William returned home, his wife Margaret hugged him. I saw it on the news. There was an alarm at school. Are you okay? I'm fine, honey, just a false alarm. But you became the old William again, didn't you? William smiled. Once a general, always a general. I'm proud of you. After 40 years, you're still protecting people. The next day when he came to school, a big surprise was waiting for William. All students were lined up in the main hallway. They had posters and cards in their hands. Thank you, General William, was written on the post. Our hero, the children were shouting. William looked at the children with tearful eyes. At 63 years old, after a 40-year military career, he was receiving his greatest reward. Stevens took the microphone and spoke. Children, teachers, family. In yesterday's incident, thanks to William Carter's leadership, none of us were harmed. William is our hero. Among the applause, William stepped forward. Children, he said in a soft voice, I just did my job. Protecting you is my duty. Always. 7-year-old Emma handed William a drawing. She had drawn William with a mop in his hand and a hero crown on his head. This drawing is for you, General William. William took the drawing, his eyes welling up. This is the most beautiful gift, Emma. Thank you. From that day on, William's situation at school completely changed. He still worked as a custodian, but had also become a security consultant. Every morning, he conducted security checks, gave security training to teachers, and developed emergency plans. Children now called him General William and loved him very much. Susan Martinez asked him one day, William, do you regret it? Your identity being revealed? No, William said. I fought for others for 40 years. Now I work for these children. There couldn't be a more meaningful mission. You're a real hero. No, Susan, you teachers who teach the future to children are real heroes. I just protect them. A few months later, William had brought modern technologies for the school security system. Cameras, alarm systems, emergency protocols. Jefferson Elementary had now become the safest school. When the district education inspector visited again, he was amazed. This security system is Pentagon level. Who designed this? Stevens proudly answered. Our security coordinator, William Carter, former 4-star general. General Carter? The legendary William Carter from Pentagon? Yes, same person. Now he works at our school. When the inspector met William, he almost saluted. "General Carter, it's a great honor to meet you. I know about your services at Pentagon." "Thank you," William said humbly. "Now I work for children. This school is very lucky." That year, Jefferson Elementary won the safest school award in the district. When William took the stage, all students applauded standing. "This award isn't just mine," William said. "It belongs to the teachers, families, and most of all these wonderful children." William's story appeared in the media. The whole country knew him with the headline, "Four-star General became school custodian." When he appeared on TV, he said, "For 40 years I defended my country. Now I defend these children. Both are the same mission, protecting the innocent." His old friends from Pentagon called him. "William, we want you to come back. There's a consulting position." "Thank you, but I'm happy here. Children are waiting for me." "Margaret," William's wife asked him, "do you really want to stay here?" "Margaret, for 40 years I worked in wars, in crises. Now I hear children's laughter in a school hallway. This is heaven for me." Years passed. William aged but never left his job at school. Students graduated and left, but they always remembered him. Emma, the little girl who drew that picture, found William at high school graduation. "General William, do you remember me?" "Of course, Emma. You're the girl who drew my first picture. That picture is still hanging on my wall. You were my first hero. You are my source of pride too, Emma." When William reached 70, he was still working at Jefferson Elementary. He no longer did cleaning, just security coordination. New teachers called him Legendary William. One day, young teacher Michael asked him, "William, did you ever regret it, going from being a general to custodian?" William laughed. "Michael, I was never a custodian. I was always a child protector. Only my method changed." "How so?" "I used to protect with weapons. Now I protect with love. The second method is more effective." William's story didn't stay only at Jefferson Elementary. Similar stories began emerging throughout the country. Retired soldiers began volunteering as security officers at schools. This movement, called the William Carter effect, revolutionized school security. William had said in an interview, "Every retired soldier should go to a school. They should protect children. This is the most sacred duty." These words inspired millions of people. A tradition was now established at Jefferson Elementary. Every year, William Carter Security Day was celebrated, giving children security education. On these days, William taught children, real strength is not in defeating the strong, it's in protecting the weak. Heroism is not doing big things, it's doing right things. The greatest victory is when no child gets hurt. When William fully retired at 75, the entire city organized a farewell ceremony for him. Thousands of former students came. They all thanked William. Emma, now a doctor, said in her speech, "General William, you didn't just teach me safety, you taught me service. Now I also heal people. You protected us." When William took the school microphone for the last time, thousands of people listened silently. "Children, you are the future of this country. Protecting you was my greatest honor. Now grow up and protect others." Even after William retired, he continued visiting the school. When children saw him, they would run and hug him. "General William, did you miss us?" "I miss you every day, children." This is how William Carter's story ended. A four-star general in his second career, that started as a school custodian, touched thousands of children. He wasn't just a custodian, he was the protector of children. And perhaps he had done more important work than his 40-year military career, protecting the next generation. Have you ever thought about how extraordinary the ordinary people around you actually are? Maybe the custodian at your school, the cashier at your store, or your apartment doorman also has a story waiting to be told like William. Every day we only know the people we encounter by their job. But William's story shows us that everyone has a past, a story, and mostly unexpected talents. That old phone wasn't just a tool, it was also a bridge between William's past and his present life. And most importantly, it was a symbol of his determination to protect children. The disrespect Stevens showed ultimately gave William the opportunity to show his true worth, and this changed not only William's life, but the entire school community's life. Sometimes the greatest heroism is quietly doing your duty. William did this and protected and changed not only his own life, but thousands of children's lives. Now, at Jefferson Elementary, no one judges the person in front of them just by how they appear, because William's story taught everyone an important lesson. Real strength serves quietly. So what about you? Have you ever done a kindness that changed someone's life without knowing them? Or did someone's helping hand change your life at an unexpected moment? Share with us in the comments. Which city are you watching from? And when did you start noticing the Williams around you? If this story touched you and you believe such stories should be told, don't forget to subscribe to the Lost Stories channel, because every week we tell stories of people who seem ordinary around us, but are actually extraordinary. Remember, the greatest heroes are usually in the quietest corners. Sometimes just paying attention is enough to notice them.